and welcome to a world of tanks and no skills. So this time we're on Redshire, nice map, nice wide map. We're with the Headless Coachman Tank. It looks a bit odd, right? It's just the base of a tank with a kind of recoilless gun on the top. Yeah, nice tank, it does its job. It's really got good gun depression, so you can get up on top of ridges, pull that gun down and can't really be seen too much. So you would expect to do well on it. I expected to do well on it, but you know, I don't play particularly great, but it has its advantages. This has the enhanced zoom on it as well, so you know, not 4x, 8x zoom on it, which is helpful. The downside with this is it only has HE rounds and they are extremely slow, so you can see the curve there of that round going off. We do pick up a bit of damage almost straight away, which is good. Just a case of staying on this ridge and staying out of sight. Do have cam on this, camouflage netting, so you know, potentially as long as we don't move too much, then we can't really be seen. Not a bad tank, like I said, a bit slow with those rounds, and you do have to think about, you know, if you are leading a target, you need to lead it a long way to get this to sort of meet its match really. Downside is 1850 armour. It doesn't take a lot for these big tanks to get it through, kill it off. It isn't particularly fast either on the ground, and you'll see that later on when we try to get away and do our thing. So I'm sitting on a ridge at the minute and I'm just waiting for opportunities. It's not a bad place to be, this actually. You know, the enemy's on the other side there, and the other team have a good position on that other ridge. That's a nice ridge to be on as well for them. We could skirt around the outside and try and pick them up, and you can see on the map there I've already got tanks down there in our team on B9 area, B8 and B9. So they're going to try and get around the outside of that ridge and try and pick up a few of those kills as well. But we're not doing too bad. I'm quite pleased with just picking up, you know, 150, 200 hit points here and there. It's good enough. I mean, at the end of the day, we're pushing off some distance with these rounds, and they are very, very slow. Just heat rounds. That's all this tank has. As you can see at the bottom there. So helpful having the zoom, and you can see we've got 4005 there on the ridge. Really fancy taking him out, but I don't think, if I remember rightly, he pops his head back up again. He's moving. You can see him in the trees there. I should have taken a poke there, but again, these rounds are slow, so I have to think about what I do. Close up, absolutely fine. Distance, probably not. But I have to say, this tank, Headless Coachman, is a decent tank. If you are on something like Kasserine or you are on El Alamein, where you've got lots of sandy ridges and dips, then they are perfect maps for this. The downside of having a tank like this is if you get something like Mannheim, absolutely useless because it has no elevation, so you can't look up at anything unless you are straight on with it. It's, you know, it's useless. So there are maps, and that's luck of the draw, isn't it? What map you get with each of these tanks. So far, feeling quite happy. Not made any mistakes really. I'm sitting in one position, but we are looking at thinking now about moving because, you know, things are drying up on the other side. There isn't too much there. The enemy are not being lit up as much as we'd like. There's nothing really there to find them. So as a tank destroyer, you want to have things targeted. You want to be able to see what you're shooting at, and if you have to go and get them, then you can, but you need to know where they are first. So that's the thing here, is to work out what you want to do with a sitter of a tank. It's almost sniping in its real form, but you know, we all do that from time to time. I'm starting to learn that certain tanks are good for certain things. They all can't do the same thing. They're not all good at the same thing. So I'll have a poke at this one, see what we can get out of that. I think that must have bounced. But yeah, let's just watch this for another second or two, and you'll see that I decided to move off from here. So there's quite a lot going on. I can't believe I missed that shot there. Right over the top. Like I said, it's a slow round, and even slow moving vehicles are going to get out of the way from this when that sort of distance. They either see them coming, or that round just isn't going to connect anyway. It's just far too slow. Okay, so again, a few more opportunities here to pick up a little bit more damage. Not doing too bad. You know, it's not hyper scoring. You can see how fast he got all the way of that. That was ready to go, but I can't anticipate a move necessarily. It would have been nice to take a tank destroyer out. Certainly not going to take it out first shot with a heat round anyway, not at this distance. So something to bear in mind if you do get one of these tanks. They are decent, but depends on what you get.
Hope they weren't using that.
Okay, these enemy tanks now starting to move down the ridge line and starting to come down towards us, or around the back of that mountain where they are. Yeah, we have got about 2 minutes on this particular game, so I know that I do have to start shifting position shortly, to start picking something up, start being a bit more aggressive and go out and find some of these tanks. So that's what we're going to do now. Pulling back off the ridge, obviously just putting that that angle up there, which isn't really what I want, but to be honest, I'm not exposed at the minute. I haven't been lit up yet, which is good. Any movement obviously is going to do that. We've got a cabinet, as you know, so just need to be careful where we are and what we're seeing as we come around this. So I'm going to take a little move out towards these enemy positions now. I'm feeling fairly confident that it's safe to do that. Just need to keep out of sight really. Fair bit of speed here, 50 odd k, decent enough to get around the map. Just have to bear in mind that I don't have a lot of armour in terms of some of these top tier tanks. But it is what it is, right? You have to just play it as you see it. Now I know I can see on the map there down the GHJ line 1 and 2 that we do have a couple of enemy there, so might be able to get a few spoilers in here as we go. I come over the top and see the tanks moving. I just have to bear in mind that these are slow, and I keep forgetting that. I need to leave the tank a lot more than I am doing, so there's a mistake straight away. I have been seen, that tank destroyer's picked me up, so I've got to be careful of him. And again, I want to come over this ridge here and help our team out a little bit, but I need to get a bit closer to make these HE rounds work. They're okay at distance, but you know, they're not fantastic either. So coming up to that nice mound there, and I'll come around the outside of that onto the tank and see what we can do with this. Yeah, close enough there, 250 hit points, just bang that straight out. And then I get hit from behind with a tank destroyer. I forgot completely he was there.